Hello everyone, Josh here with X's Games, bringing y'all another Awaken cast air video. I know it's been a couple days since our last upload. I've been very busy. I'm still active in the Discord as always, but we're back now, and we're going to be exploring the best free-to-play team that you can actually build. So what would you say if I told you there was a free-to-play team that you could build that allows you to not only participate and even conquer early game, mid game, and even potentially a lot of the end game content, and it's absolutely 100% free to play, not to mention very easy to build up, and the team can get better over time. So, you know, what would you say to that? Would you believe me? And no, we're not going to be discussing anything to do with the poison team either. As a lot of you know, there's a very strong budget poison team that you can make that includes Valak and of course Santis, because Santis can be crafted. But that's not going to be the team we're going to be talking about today. We're talking about a whole new game here. We're talking about a whole new team, and that team is what I'm calling the true damage team. So let's go ahead here into our handy dandy notebook, the Pokédex, the index, and discuss some of these units that we're going to be building here today to make this amazing team. So first we're going to go into the elites, and we're going to go down here to this bad boy right here, the Ninja Turtle himself, Rogue. Rogue is going to be a unit that I plan to feature more on the channel because I am building one myself right now. He's already fully glyphed out for the most part. He's already 5 stars. I just need to get some more fodder. I'm actually out of fodder, believe it or not, so I cannot make him 6-star yet, but I am going to be showcasing the team that we're building today at the end of the video, beating 10-8 Mythic for the first time very easily, and I mean easily. So you guys are going to get to see kind of what this team that we're building today for free to play, what it's going to look like, you know, in the future as you progress and build it up even further, and how well it performs. It's just a phenomenal team. But anyway, so the first unit on this team is going to be Rogue. So Rogue is chilling here. He's got counterattacks with damage equal to 10% of max HP. You're going to get this guy's HP extremely high. I would argue probably with decent 5-star gear to 6-star gear, you're going to be sitting around 20 to 25k HP when it's all said and done. He's going to be very strong. You're going to be pairing him up with one of our other options we're going to be discussing later. His skill 1 has a taunt, so if you want to give him a little bit of focus, that's perfectly fine. He's got 100% damage to an enemy. That's not really the important thing. His skill 2 is incredible. 2-turn cooldown, and I mean a massive heal. Like, he has a big daddy heal going on here. Regenerates 30% of max health, and if you pair him up with another unit we're going to be discussing later, on top of the fact he's already going to have very high health because of your gear, your glyphs, and your base stats, he's going to be doing some crazy healing. So he's going to have a lot of self-sustainability. Okay, and then his ultimate, which is actually very good. I hate that these ultimates that are very strong with true damage are longer cooldowns, but boy, do they hit hard. So he's going to be scaling his damage based on his max HP, and as we've discussed, his max HP is going to be extremely high, and that bonus damage is true damage. Even though it's not listed here, it is in fact true damage, and you'll kind of see that in action at the end of this video when you actually see the 10-8 Mythic fight. And by the way, in that fight, you're going to be seeing one of my support friends, Rogue, in action, and not mine personally, because mine is not yet 6-star, as I've already mentioned. So let's go ahead and move on to the next unit that's going to be joining this team that's also going to be an elite. So a next unit we're going to be using is going to be our boy Charles. Now, we've already talked about this boy on the channel. We even made a video talking about how he's a monster. This dude is incredible. This guy's outshining so many legendaries and epics in terms of DPS. It's a joke. Not only is he a super tank, he's a super utility DPS. Like, he does so much stuff. And one of his incredible feats that not too many people are actually talking about is his skill 1. That taunt is incredible. So many things that you can get away with in this game, content wise, that's, you know, very hard to beat, that he can overcome just because you can sit there and just keep using taunt. It's a very underrated debuff. It's so clutch, especially when he doesn't have under 100% chance. So if you just put a little bit of focus on him, most times he's going to get the taunt to go off, and since he's going to be super tanky, it's not like you're going to take much damage. And he wants to get hit because of the way everything else in his skill set works, including his trait. Attacks dealt by this character deal bonus true damage equal to 50% of defense. Now, of course, that is going to be paired on top of his passive, which is +1 rage upon taking a valid hit. As we've already mentioned, he wants to be hit at least 10 times to get that maximum 200% defense on top of his already very stout defense that you're going to have with him. And again, this unit is going to fit very well with another unit we're going to be talking about. So Rogue and Charles are already going to be finding synergy with another unit we're going to be bringing in. So this team's going to be very synergetic and do a lot of crazy things. They all have very good self-sustain, because Charles even has a little bit of that of himself because of his ultimate. He's going to put up this freaking shield that is dang near unbreakable, because it's based on his defense, and his defense is going to be sky high. So we've already talked about Charles. You've already seen him on the channel. If you haven't, definitely go check out that Charles is the monster video. I forget what I fully titled it, but it's something around there. He is incredible. So those are our 2 elites that are going to be on the team. Now, there are going to be a couple swing options, as I like to call them, or rotational pieces, you know, options that you can bring in and out depending as possible for slots, because we're going to be using 2 elites today and 2 epics to build this incredible free-to-play team. But there are a couple other options that you could swing in here. One of them, of course, is Elson. Elson does have true damage on his ult. He does a lot of defense down as well, so he still kind of fits in with that team being a true damage team. And he allows you to have a ton of defense downs, and he hits multiple times, and he's going to be very easy to gear up because he's already getting 30% crit. So he's kind of a unit that you might be able to swing in and out if you need to. If you just want an additional true damage dealer and you can't get the second epic, because again, we're going to be talking about 2 of them. One of them I'm sure a lot of you have already figured out, but the other one might surprise you. I don't know. Another swing unit here is going to be Connor. Connor's got Big Daddy shields. He's got a defense down. He scales to attack, which he gets from his trade as well. And of course, his ultimate does healing 3 times. It heals AoE 3 times. That's why it's such an incredible heal, one of the best heals in the game. So that's another swing option. And then our other swing option, and our final one, would be Rodera. Rodera is becoming one of my favorites. I've been using her quite a bit, especially for Tide, to do 11 and 12 on auto. She's fantastic. She's also going to fit our team even better than Connor. Technically, she scales to max HP. She gets it on her trait. Now, her ult's why she's going to fit our team a lot better, because she does AoE defense up. Even though it just says apply defense up to the target, it's actually the entire team that gets the defense up. So that again is going to be very synergetic with our already tanky built team, with our Rogue and a unit we haven't discussed yet, of course herself, and our boy Charles. So it's all going to be very synergetic. The healing's going to be nice. She also has a cleanse, which is also great. So she also has healing on her skill 2 as well. So she has 2 skills that heal, and she also has a very good and very underrated debuff in itself, which is attack down. So she's going to be phenomenal. But those are our swing units. So just to quickly recap, the 2 of our 4 units so far that we've discussed to run in this super ultimate free-to-play true damage team that I'm building here, that I think a lot of you are going to enjoy, is Charles and Rogue. So that's our elites, and then you already saw our other swing options. So now let's talk about the 2 epics that we're going to bring into this team. First one is going to be Ricard. Now, as I said, it's very important that you understand why I brought in swing units, you know, rotational pieces, into this video. Not everybody in this game wants to reroll. So if you do not reroll, you might not start with Ricard. You might not pull Ricard in the first week or 2 with your honeymoon phase rewards. I don't know. That's not a guarantee. If you don't reroll, you're not guaranteed to get him. So I can't, you know, technically classify this as a ultimate free-to-play team without at least suggesting the idea of having other rotational pieces that you can use instead of Ricard if you don't have him. But for the majority of players who probably will reroll to get, of course, the best start possible, especially in a gacha game, you definitely want to grab Ricard if you want to build this team. The other epic we're going to talk about, you don't technically even need to reroll for or even pull them. You can get them from crafting, and I'm sure a lot of you by now have probably put the pieces together, connected the dots, know who we're going to talk about. So we have an A health and A defense on Ricard, which is fantastic because we're going to be building him as just a super tank that does a lot of DPS on his ultimate. And he also, kind of like Rogue, has a very nice heal on his skill 2 as well, which we'll get to in a moment. And he also has damage reduction on his trait, which is up to 30%, which is incredible. His skill 1 has an attack down. So you guys are starting to see something here. We have units that can taunt, units that can do attack down. We're building our team around HP, and we're building our team around defense. And what's really cool is most of our offense is going to be true damage, so we don't care about the enemy's defense, which is awesome. And another cool thing about this team that we're building, and why I consider this probably one of the best, if not the best, free-to-play teams that you can build right out of the gate, is its longevity, because it has so much survivability, and you do not have to play on the crutch of having to have speed. You don't need speed in this team. So you don't have to throw speed on your boots. You can just go HP. You can go defense percentage. You can do a lot of other things to capitalize on the way this team is built. This ain't going to be the fastest team in the world, obviously, but it's going to be super efficient, and it's going to climb through harder difficulty stages that other just, pure DPS teams just cannot do without a lot of dupes or high gear investments or whatever. This team is going to be super easy to build, and it's going to be super stable. So I just want to make sure I'm getting this all out of the way, because I know a lot of people are going to have questions, and I just want to make sure I'm covering a lot of that I can. So hopefully if I miss something, definitely let me know. Ask me in the comment section below. I'll be glad to help if I'm able to. So there's that. Obviously his skill 2, like I said, has a really nice heal, restores 30% of max HP, kind of similar to the way that our boy Rogue does. And they're both going to have super high HP. Ricard will probably have more HP than Rogue, just due to the fact that he's got an 8 health. And this just kind of play a little bit of a factor. It's going to come down to the maximum glyphs. So I have to take a look at the glyphs to actually see who gets more. And I can actually show you guys that in today's video, by the way, because I already have both them that far along in glyphs. So we can just kind of find that out right off the bat. But I do think that Ricard has more HP than Rogue will, but it doesn't matter, because they're both going to be high regardless, and they're going to get higher with our other option. And of course, as we talked about, his ultimate does true damage. Total true damage equal to 80% of his max HP. So if you hit multiple targets, it's going to do all that damage divided amongst however many there are, however many enemies there are, or he's going to do one large nuke to a single target. So regardless, it's going to hit very, very hard. It's going to be a beautiful thing to see. Okay, so that is 3 of our 4 units that we're going to be using for this team, as well as our rotational pieces that you can put in there if you don't have Ricard or don't start with him. Okay, you guys know where we're going with this. A lot of you probably know. Our boy Hakron, the other craftable unit that you can utilize here. Santis is definitely a big name that gets floated around because all of what she can do, but Hakron is definitely the other one. This is an epic that you can craft by synthesizing from the main lobby of the game. You're going to be able to get 1 copy of this guy in the first week or 2, no problem, as a free-to-play. So this is going to be a unit that you definitely want to gun for. He's good in a plethora of different teams. This is an amazing unit, and this is the core component to what makes this team really tick and what makes it really keep ticking. So we have grants a team-wide defense bonus equal to 10%. Now the reason why I'm just going to say 10% is, I probably should have said this for Ricard as well. You don't need their traits to be maxed out to be good. He's going to be good at just as a vanilla. And what I mean by vanilla means no dupes. Same thing with Ricard. You're going to lose a little bit, obviously. You're going to lose 10%, but it don't matter. It's not going to be crucial. You'll worry about that later on as you develop your account a little bit better and you get into even harder difficulties of stages like stage 11 and 12 gear dungeons, for example. Then that 10% might become a little bit of a factor, but the fact you can even get to that point as a free to play with this team is already impressive. So you can always worry about those later. And again, he is craftable, so you will get him eventually no matter what, because you're going to keep summoning in this game as you play. You're going to be pulling those elites, and then you're going to craft them in and get more copies of Hakron. So don't worry about it too much. But even at the 10%, it's still really, really good. So he's sharing basically 10% of his total defense with the rest of your team, which is massive. Let's just say, for example, you get him to just 2,000 defense, right? You're getting 100 defense per 1,000 distributed to your team. So 2,000 defense would be 200 defense to your team. That's incredible. Okay? And a lot of you with decent gear as you progress are going to get his defense probably in the 3,000s. without too much difficulty, and that already in itself is huge. So his skill 1 allows him the opportunity to try and you know, kind of bring down the cooldowns for your ultimate, which of course is going to help the rest of your team. It's completely going to be synergetic, as we've mentioned before. You're going to be getting up to 75% maximum HP increased. That's almost doubling your max HP for all your characters. Not quite, it's 3/4 there. 75% is massive. Okay, so every time he does that, up to 5 total stacks, or maximum 5 stacks rather, you're gonna your team's gonna be super tanky. It's gonna be 15% per stack. Your skill 1's gonna try and cut down the cooldowns for that, because right now the cooldown is 4, which isn't too bad. But if the skill 1 does trigger that, you know, you could pop this every couple turns, depending on how your skill 1 RNG goes. But regardless, your team's going to be built for survivability, so it doesn't really matter if the skill 1 doesn't work anyways. And its skill 2, which is also very incredible, is it's another taunt. 100% damage and applies taunt for 1 turn. Damage scales with this character's defense, so believe it or not, he can actually hit for quite a bit of damage with his skill 2, because since it does scale to his defense, and his defense is going to be sky high, and if you run him with a unit like Rodera and you increase his defense by an additional 30%, that skill 2 is going to do some damage. Plus, when Rodera uses her AoE defense up, your whole team is going to benefit from Hakron having more defense, because they're going to get more defense. They're all going to get more HP, which allows your Rodera to heal even more, which allows your Rogue to hit even harder, and it's also going to allow your Ricard to hit even harder. So the team is super synergetic. Like there's no lost step there. Also, your Charles is benefiting as well from the defense up, the HP up, the Hakron being in the team, giving him more defense as well. Like the whole team just works like a well-oiled machine. I love it so much. That's why I wanted to share the team with you guys and gals out there, because I feel like personally this might be the best, as of right now, as of the recording of this video, this might be the best team that you can build right now in this game as an uber free to play. And what I mean by that is you're very limited on resources, limited on how many units that you're summoning for, your epics and legendaries that are available to you, and you just want to go in and build a team day 1, day 2, first week, whatever, that's going to carry you long term in this game through lots of various content and perform the most for you without having to rely on additional units. So I think this team kind of just does a lot of those things. It ticks a lot of those boxes. So as I promised, I'm going to show you guys the glyphs real quick between Ricard. Let me find Ricard. Okay, we'll do Rogue first. So this is my Rogue. He's not done yet. His glyphs are ready. I don't do this one because I don't really care about the attack, so I don't waste, you know, stamina farming those on non-attack oriented units. But if you see there, he's getting 4,720 health and 742 defense. That is just an insanity. He's also getting 23.5 resistance. So 4,720 on health. And then if we go to Ricard, which I must have passed up, there he is. We go to Ricard, same situation. I'm not getting the attack up. He's getting 4,767 and 750. So since he does have an A grade, he will be, of course, getting more HP than Rogue, no matter what, if they were wearing the same set of gear. But yeah, so you're going to be getting both those guys up to 25k HP individually. Ricard might be able to push even a little bit more than that, depending on what your gear is. And then you eventually will get into 6-star gear, and you could probably improve it even a little bit more. What's really good though too is they're gonna be easy to gear up, because you can just use Vanguard and Terra set for a while, and then you can slowly transition into farming like your curse sets for Charles. You can also start farming up the revival set, which is also in Tide, and that's gonna be very good for your units as well. Like you could throw that set honestly on 3 of your 4 units. You could throw the revival set on Ricard, you could throw that set on Rogue, even though they both have self heals if you want to, just to give them a little bit more self-sustain if you want to. Like that's a personal choice. You could also put that on your Hakron, give him a little bit of a top up since he doesn't have any self-sustain healing. you could give him that. That'd be very helpful for him because he's gonna have a lot of HP as well. So I mean, your team is ready to go. You're gonna have a team that's gonna be able to go in there and start farming up some Tide. You're gonna have a team that's gonna go in there and be able to even do some Tulpa. Yes, some Tulpa. I don't know about Tulpa 11 or 12, but you could definitely get up to like maybe Tulpa 10, maybe 11, depending on what other rotational pieces you might add to your account later on. But they're going to get you to that point. They're going to get you through Hard Tower. They're going to get you through Trials. They're going to get you through all of Story. They're going to do very well in PvP too, because they're going to be a very strong tank meta. And again, you got the option for rotational pieces if you need them, when you need them. But for a majority of the time, you're going to be using this the same, 3 or 4 units to get through a majority of the content in the game. And that's the point of today's video. I wanted everyone to just kind of, understand, hey, there's a team that you can build that is super free-to-play friendly, but it's also super powerful. I don't want free-to-plays to feel inferior, like, oh my god, I can't clear none of this stuff because my team is so weak, so I'm stuck using, garbage elites and garbage epics. No, you can build a super powerful team from those crop of characters, and we've already mentioned that. And now you're going to go ahead and see the 10-8 mythic fight using this team. Of course, the rogue is not mine, as I've said. I plan to maybe make more content with this particular team and show each individual character and different elements in the game as well that I think a lot of you might enjoy. We'll see how it goes going forward. But I just wanted to make sure that this video is out there to really help free-to-players understand that you don't have to feel ashamed to be free to play. There are powerful teams that you can build that'll do incredible things. And I mean very incredible things. In fact, let me go to my guild right quick. Let me go to the battle. This latest guild boss, I did 322k. I forget what team I actually used. Oh yeah, there you go. I used somewhat of a variation of that team. There you go. And again, we're using a rotational piece there with Rodera. We did not use our boy Rogue because unfortunately my Rogue is not ready yet. But you guys saw there's a variation of that team, and I ran it on auto and I did almost 323k. That's not bad. And I've seen that go even way higher, especially with Charles. But of course, you're gonna have to include different rotational pieces and work on your gear and stuff like that. But it's just a good example to show, hey, these cheap units can do incredible things in this game. So that's more or less what the point was. I hope you guys do enjoy. Let me know what your best free-to-play team might be if you don't agree with my options. If you agree with my options, let me know if you use them on a day-to-day basis, how they're performing for you, what types of content, all that other good stuff. It's just, I feel that this was a team that I wanted to showcase. I don't know if a lot of people knew about the True Damage team. If you don't, now you do. Incredible. If you're free to play and you're just starting, go ahead and build it. It's awesome. I promise you, it'll get you through a lot of content. And again, it's going to save you a ton of resources. So much, in fact, that you might even be able to stockpile some gems for global launch. So there you go. You're welcome. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. Enjoy the fight at the end of the video. Don't forget to take notifications. Join us in the Discord in the description below. Follow me on Twitter at XSPlace and like today's video if you did. Until next time, as always, peace.